Hello! Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, just in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are going to be listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? Two cards fell out, and I'm just like, where are we going with this? I don't know. Two? Okay. There's an evolution happening here. That's it? Just 3? Okay. And then that's a... Okay. What is... I have to look at this. I don't know. Somebody... I don't know if they always were or if they've... Somebody's lying. I feel it. I see it. This showed up. Was it in... I think I had Cancer's reading. This one came up as a liar card, the way it developed. And this is showing up somebody around this situation. I don't know if it's somebody you deal with directly or indirectly, but there's a liar that's affecting this situation. Like a flat out liar. Just boom. Like compulsive. Couldn't tell the truth. If they tripped over it, liar. One of those. So it's already aggravating me that that's even here, but I'm just going to be fair. I know where it's working in, and that's affecting your situation. So where we're going next is a good question. So what is this built from? What is this built from? An injustice in the past that seemed like it kind of moved on. An injustice from the past, because the Justice card reversed is on the dice. And then 7 of Swords kind of coming in like this, kind of like somebody might have partially gotten away with something. It's one of those energies where I feel like you kind of knew something was off, but you were like, I guess it's not that bad, and it seems like it's going better, so I'm going to give things a chance. And I feel like there's probably a reconciliation with somebody. Take that with a grain of salt. Because I feel like there was some type of rough seas that happened here. And then things started going better. I'm struggling with this. Because I want to say that maybe you're looking back thinking things started to heal. I would probably argue, yeah, they looked better. And they were going better. I don't know if they were truly healing. I don't know. I don't know. You put in the work. And you just went like, I'm doing my best. I'm going to give this a chance. I'm going to try to do my best to help this. I don't think you saw this as like, you did not see this as the perfect situation, that's for sure. But you wanted better. And you were hopeful. There was potential. Hopeful, and there was potential. And you wanted this to go better. You were trying to do your best to not get in the way of things going better, to not get in the way of healing, of genuine healing. You made decisions purposefully thinking it was for the best for the situation. I keep getting a situational thing here. It's kind of like, it feels like a family situation. This does not have to be a family situation, but it's kind of like, there's certain people that you're like, oh, I don't like that one. But if I constantly make that an issue, it causes other disruptions here, and then I gotta play nice. I gotta play nice for the overall energy, for whatever reason. That's kind of how this feels. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be a part of a friend group, could be something with like a work situation, coworkers. neighbors, whatever it is. And you've been doing well with it. You have been doing well. I feel like that's part of this reading. They're kind of like, no, you've been doing well. If this could have gone better, it would have gone better due to your efforts, for sure. Like, anything you could have done, I feel like you did the right thing. I don't think you were a fool about any of it. I don't. And they're saying you put ample effort forward, you gave things a shot, you did what you had to do. But you weren't a fool about it. It's kind of like, I got the Empress like this, and I got the Four of Wands, kind of like, I'll make an effort, but I'm not here to be somebody's scapegoat. I'm not here to just be somebody's pawn. I'm not going to do that. I'll help. I'll do adequate things, but you know, one hand washes the other here. You know, I'll put effort, but like only so much. Only so much. The energy is like, you've been doing really well with this. I feel like the energy keeps coming in like you really have been doing very, very well with this. Pulling your energy back, giving things a chance. Even every now and then it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should. You know what? No, I'll just do it. I'll just do it. It's not that important. I'll just let it go, or I'll contribute here. I keep seeing somebody bring like a salad to a barbecue, like a macaroni salad. These little rings. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Kind of like, you know what? It's almost like I made the salad in a way that most people like it. I didn't make it the way I thought it should be made. I made it in a way that I feel like was more accommodating to others. I feel like that's what I keep seeing here. So that could be analogy. It could be literal for someone. Like, I made it the way I think they want it. It's fine. It's fine. It reminds me of, I have a relative that won't put egg and tuna in like a macaroni salad. They'll put other things, but not that, because some people don't like eggs, some people don't like tuna, so they don't put it either. They just put other things in there. And it's like, okay, then it works. They put other things to make up for it, but it's interesting. What is this? This energy doesn't move forward the easiest. But I also get, even though it doesn't move forward the easiest, I don't think it's supposed to. It's supposed to take some time. You are actually helping expose something without, I don't think you're trying to expose something, but you are. I don't think that's your purpose. I don't think that's what you're looking to do. I don't think you're trying to do that. But I feel like your honest effort, by you making the honest effort, other people are being who they are, and it's highlighting who they really are. They're kind of exposing themselves, but your effort and what you're doing is really amping that up. So it's like it's hard to not see these people for who they are. Okay. I don't feel like, if this reading is hitting, whatever the situation is, I don't think you're currently enjoying it. Your heart is in it, but I don't feel like you're currently enjoying how it's playing out. Not currently. Some of it just doesn't feel right, and it's just kind of like, you might be sensing the energy that there's problems behind the scenes, almost like people are there's disregard for each other's emotions or something, or like discord. I got the Five of Wands, which is a conflict card, but I also got the Moon card with it. It's almost like you know that things aren't going right. But it's almost like people are not letting you know what's going on, because they're like, for some reason, they either don't want it to come at you, or they don't want you to get involved with it, or whatever it is. But I feel like you're feeling it. Like, you can feel that there's discord. You can feel like there's disruption. You can feel that things are not working. But you're like, all right, I'm going to play the game. They want me to play the game. And if it works out in the end for the best for everybody, I guess that's what we're going to do. The Liar card here. I don't want to deal with this liar. I don't know the gender of this liar. It is the Knight of Cups, or Pentacles. So it's a male on this card. Does not have to be a male. It's a general read. But like, truth is coming forward. I almost feel like the person who's doing the lying is blowing themselves in out of spite, which, whatever. I don't know what to say about that. Like, they're screwing themselves over out of spite. It may not be it may not be a completely thought out action when they do it. It may be very random and very spontaneous. I don't know. Either that or they just thought they were going to get away with it. I don't know. But I feel like the person who's doing the lying is like blowing themselves in, which that's its own thing. If it's playing out that way, I'm interested to know. But of course, you gotta do. I don't know. That energy is something. I don't know what to say about that. If that's happening, that's like okay. But also at the same time, I feel like something's going on here. It's almost like they're trying to bait you. I almost feel like that's what the point is. They want to bait you and pull you into it, and then they're going to try to make it your fault that they did what they did. I don't think you're playing the game, though. That's the point where you're like, oh, no. I've gone along with a lot of this, but not that. I'm not doing that. You seem to back right off on that moment. Kind of like, okay, no. Nope, y'all can deal with your own problems on that one. Because I feel like you immediately know the fact that you find out the way you find out, you're like, y'all knew that. All of you other people knew that already. I'm not getting sucked into this. Okay, that's the knee-jerk reaction. Not getting sucked into this. There's other energy that wants to find a resolution here. The immediate response is like, absolutely not, which I understand. And you can continue to do it that way. It just may not serve you. But they're saying here with the Nine of Pentacles, right, or the Nine of Cups, excuse me. Nine of Cups, I'm happier staying out of it. Y'all didn't want to include me anyway on that part. You don't need to. I'm happier over here anyway, so it is what it is. You could go that way. Or you have another option here. It feels mild. Is that Five of Cups? Is that the Four of Cups? I think that's the Four of Cups. I'm trying to use my brain here. I could be wrong. I think it's the Four of Cups. I think it's the Four of Cups because they don't have the actual cups on there, but I'm seeing IV as, I think that's the Four of Cups, which is kind of like, it's not the worst moment, but it's not really that great. There's things here you don't like. And answering the call coming in, kind of like, if I would, I don't even have to say this because I already know this. You're going to be selective who you will and will not talk about. Talk with. You're going to be selective with the situation. It's just how it is. That's normal Scorpio energy. It doesn't matter if I say it or not. You're going to be who you're going to be. It's fine. But it's kind of like 3 to the good, 1 to the bad. That's what I'm getting with this. Kind of like, well, this went well and that went well. That's not so good. And then this went well. It's kind of like talking about what you don't like, but not letting it center on that. Putting the positive and the negative, 3 to the good, 1 to the bad, 3 to the good, 1 to the bad. And kind of like playing it off that way. Doesn't mean that's how you feel about it, but kind of like putting a safety measure in here. Kind of like, listen, I'm telling you the good things I've noticed. I've noticed this good. I noticed that's good. And then I noticed this too, which I don't like. But I noticed this was good too. And 3 to the good, 1 to the bad. That's another way to handle this, to where there's a possibility here for change. I get hiccups here. I'm not saying that's going to be an easy road to follow. I'm not saying that, but somebody's gathering information for possibilities to make change. You might be also, if they're like, well, I don't know how to change this. What way would you do it? Well, I've heard this person do it this way, and I've heard people do it that way. I would give them options. I wouldn't give them direction. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I wouldn't say do this. I would not do that. I would say, well, here's how I've seen it play out. Here's 3 different examples. Those are some options you could consider, but you have to make your own decision. I'll help you if you make a decision. You decide what you want to do. I'll help you where I can, but I'm not choosing for you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'll give you 3 different options of what I've heard. You choose for yourself. Because they're going to take action on some change here. I just feel like you want to be careful. It's up to you what you're going to do with this, granted. Because they're making big changes and there's long-term results from this. If you're giving options, if you're giving options and you make sure you highlight to them, you're making the choice. I will help you, but you're making the choice. I'm not telling you what to do and then you just do it, because I feel like there's going to be backlash to that. It's going to be like, well, Scorpio told me. We don't need that. I keep getting like trying to give options and just kind of empowering them. You got to live with your results. I'll give you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a thing. I'll give you options that I'm aware of, but you choose what you got to do because you got to live with that. And I feel like maybe I want to reiterate that and highlight to this. You have to live with your outcome. You have to live with your choice. It's not going to change their mind about making changes, if that made sense. But it's just, I don't feel like we need this coming back on you, kind of like, well, Scorpio told me. Like, well, yeah, you asked me, so I told you what I would do. Just be aware of that. That's all I'm saying, if this is playing out this way. When they're looking for options, supplying options or talking about options, that's a good thing. You got the King of Swords coming in for you in the grace and gratitude. The longer you can keep up the 3 to the good, the 1 to the bad, it doesn't have to be about the exact, like, for example, whoever this liar is, you don't have to say 3 good things about this person and 1 bad. I'm not saying that. But situations maybe they've been a part of where things have gone well a little bit and things have not. You know, it doesn't have to be directly, like, I don't feel like we want to praise somebody who has bad behavior. I don't see that happening anyway. But it's kind of like, oh, they showed up on time. They made sure this was there, and they made sure the food was cooked. They also had some very foul language during this time. So it's like 3 to the good, 1 to the bad. Like, we'll talk about some. They did show up. They did bring this person. This person was safe when they came. They weren't physically beaten up or anything. I mean, they did. Yeah, you know what I mean. We don't want to praise a person like they're this great person, like, you know. But at the same time, I feel like if we acknowledge things that went correct, it just seems to go smoother. It's more effective, and it goes smoother. You got to do what you feel is right. If that's a forget it, I'm not doing it, then it's a forget it, you're not doing it, and that's that. But it's just what they're giving me, so I'm going with it. If you're not, then you're not. I totally respect that, because I'm like choking on it, because like they're showing me somebody, and I'm like, you want me to praise that person? Or how many drugs did you take? Because you're gonna need to take more if you think that's gonna happen. And they're saying not the person. You don't have to praise the person, but something like, oh yeah, they brought the camper in, that you know, they got it set up right, and okay, that's 2. You know, and you know, they brought the food. Okay. That, you know, the technical stuff. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm like, I don't know. I'd have a hard time myself. So I'm not trying to come off like, oh, you know, just find nice things. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I don't know what to say. Hopefully this reading helps. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.